Hello there, everyone. Alex here with Lucksack Games, and we're here to bring you another league with turns. This was requested by my good friend Damien over at Tier 1 Games. If you're singles, definitely check him out at tier1games.com. We're playing turns today. Playing 4 Mystic Sanctuary, 2 Fires of Invocation, 4 Narsets, and a couple of Wheel of Fates. The cheeky combos, of course, the Burninator. What if he's on Burn? This is a mulligan. It is a Narset into a Fires of Invention wheel, or as foretold wheel. I'm going to go ahead and keep this and put the Temporal Mastery back into it. I'm going to play a Fled Strand to go fetch a tapped Steam Vents and pass the turn. This hand doesn't look amazing, but we're hoping if we can run off a few lands that it will work out great. Fires of Invention, obviously a little bit of a nombo with Cryptic Command. But we are only running a couple of Fires of Invention. We'll see. Island there would be great. So we get to pass. Currently we look like Storm or Control. The Fled Strand leans towards Control. Here's where we get Thought Seized. Alright. We're gonna lose our Narset since A, it's their only target, and B, even if it wasn't, they'd hit. And the jig's up. They know returns. Keep in mind when going off the Fires of Invention, even though you can't use Cryptic Command on their turn, you can use it to just like bounce their tap lands and draw a card, and that almost feels like gaining a. If they have another land. The Burninator is not running, which is great news for us. They appear to be running Grixis Control. So we can draw here. Cryptic Command is not the best, but hopefully if we can draw a land, we can start getting some advantage. Mainly because we can play a Fires of Invention and immediately use a Cryptic. So honestly, the land can, well, every land in our deck produces, so we'd be casted it. Narset's about the best non-land draw we could have hoped for. They'd likely have a counterspell. Good news is that Grixis tends to run much less counterspells than most decks. We are going to take it down, even though it makes it die to bolt. I'm going to take Days and do it. If this Narset survives, which if they had a land drop, Creeping Tarpit will make sure it does not. Snapcaster may not actually kill him, so that's great. Let's see what they do here. They look like they're also a Cryptic Command deck. Being able to Daze and do it to putting one card in hand, very, very. Fortunately, it looks like the opponent did hit the land up here. And by choosing not to Creeping Tarpit, pretty much signifies that they have Cryptic. Let's hope to hit a land drop this turn. I think we're just passing the turn. Yeah, because I'd be shocked if they didn't. So while the opponent's fetching here, we're actually just going to Cryptic. So Island. Target Creeping Tarpit. And then we'll play a Fires. They'll probably tap this for mana. That's fine. Probably cast another cryptic command. Or another caster mate. It's kind of funny. Opponent does not play opponent does not play out the creeping tar pit so that they hold up cryptic. You know what? We're gonna try and resolve this, but something tells me that it's not gonna resolve. So temporal mastery, sometimes lucky. Take an extra turn after this one. If this does resolve, we're probably suspending ancestral. Then we get some extra value off of this. Looks like the opponent's gonna cast their first cryptic command. Yep. Counter draw. Yep. Sad we don't have Remand. So we're still probably gonna get this taken down. Currently have really bad lines like Fires of Invention into Cryptic Bounce a land. We're always gonna use. Alright, let's try and fires. Certainly getting countered. Counter draw. Okay. The opponent's getting in for 7 here if they want. Pretty good. If they choose to animate carpet or not. Thought sees us. We miss our land drop because we have a handful of spells. They're expensive because our deck is just kind of riffs like that. The regular mid game 1 check to make sure we're recording. Sorry, everyone. Alright, Thoughtseize took away command. Pretty good. Looks like they're holding up cryptic. Ooh. Alright, just Thoughtseize us again. Okay. I can 100% get down. If they take away a Time Warp, or Commander, or Days and Alright. I have a chance. If they have a Bolt, we just die. But I mean, see what we can do. Cast a Time Warp, see if they have a counter spell. Alright, well, we get another turn. Do this turn. Just another land. That's a little uncomfortable because I wish we could get this down. But I still feel like we just daze it. Could be drawing them very easily into another bowl. Alright, it's the opponent's turn. Let's see what they have. Did draw into Remand, but that's not going to do it. Good, they didn't decide to get in with Creeping Tar Pit. We died at K command, we died to Bolt. See what the opponent has. Alright. I am not gonna remand it, I am just gonna die. Alright, so Grixis control. We want these blood moons. We want them real good. I don't think they'll have much creature removal post board. We do want these spell piercers to help win counter spell battles. Coral Masteries, we're going to cut down on. They are the better Cryptic Command deck, so we do not want to interact on access that's Cryptic Command based. Remands are probably fine against the Cryptic Command deck, though. Probably fine to cut back on the Fires of Invention and what else? What else? What else? You can kill our Narset responses a lot of the time. And then we cut the last Fires. Seems good. Just as foretold, seems great this game. Well, if we can guarantee we're drawing lands, this hand's amazing. If we can't, I think we have to mulligan. Ouch. Well, back to back. Alright, I think at this point we have to keep. And we just hope to rip the land off the top. If we do, we're in a pretty good position still. So we can spell Pierce a Thoughtseize into rip a land, play Thing in the Ice, into remand a couple spells, hopefully Thing in the Ice gets there. What does everyone think of that? I like the sound of that. Rip a land. Yes. That's definitely step one. We do not currently have any red spells in our deck, so let's grab Basic Island and cast a Thing in the Ice and hope they all have Spell Snare. Which would be hilarious because we had no 2-drops in our deck game. Scared me, opponent. Scared me. Opt resolves. So if we draw another land, we get to pass with Remand and Spell Pierce that. Once again, hopefully opponent has no creature removal. They hopefully sideboarded all that out since they didn't see any creatures. Which, to their credit, I feel is the correct play. If they have like a Fatal Push here, we will be maximum sadness. This is definitely not nothing. Find out what it is, though. The fact that we got to untap first is absolutely incredible. We do just have to pass. Time Warp, obviously not the best draw there. If we can get a couple more land drops in, it'll be amazing. This is a spell, right? It is. Works the way I think it does. I can Spell Pierce it. It does. Fabulous. Alright, their turn. So we Spell Pierce their Petty Theft. We really wanted to remand, but we went with Spell Pierce there because it was losing equity. But I had another one. It's fine. That's one way to get rid of it. Ironically, it was the Thoughtseize. Draw into. Alright, so remanding a Brazen Borrower. That sounds absolutely like hell. I really don't want to do that. But if they play it as their threat, might be what we have to do. I am not a fan. They go for an opt here, honestly. We need to run some action spells, some Narsets and such. This card. Alright, looks like it's our turn. Not the best card, but allows us to remand twice, so. It's going to cast this during the end step. Going to be very sad, but we're going to remand it. So unlike flashback spells, it just goes back to their. Grim Lava. Sorry. I'm going to go ahead and fetch and read. Huh. Lemon is not currently castable. Run 2. I lied about not having red spells, by the way. They literally have the way to bounce blood, so these will be coming out. Yes. They have counterspell. I expect this is resolving and they have the bounce instead. So they know I'm in the 0 this chase. Alright, they're forcing me. So that seems very reasonable and perfectly fine. Once again, we don't care about this blood moon. They have the way to bounce it in. So we'll not lock them. Literally anything. This might be a Mystic Sanctuary. Let's go ahead and time warp ourselves. This is literally just an explore. Just taking a read. Also, why we're not putting it on top, it's not actually getting us anywhere. If Jace had resolved, we'd be all day long. Alright, well. Now we will get it. We'll put time warp. Now, every time we draw time warp, we'll take an extra turn. Not that fancy, but we have Ancestral Visions ticking down. Now I expect 2 islands out of my opponent. They apparently did expect Blood Moon. We're always going to yield to that until the time we get past it. Opponent has counterspell for this. Take our next turn. But they'll take their turn. Really not too worried about it either. Alright, opponent casts Drown in the Lock. New card is powerful. Opponent does not have cryptic step. 2 time counters left on that. This turn. I'm gonna cast this knowing it's it. Because then we can cast it again this turn. So this cuts our opponent off black. Kind of. So I'm also going to cast the Simian Spirit Guide since this now makes. Opponent will bounce this and which is fine. Opponent feels that they do not even need to bounce this, so they can just beat us with what they are. Which is really reasonable, really. Which is apparently multiple Grim Lava Man. Uh-oh. Well, the great news is we get to Mystic Sanctuary, do nothing. Because there's a Blood Moon in play. So it has now affected us more than our opponent. Significant. Can't get in there because it's currently holding back both Grim Lava Mancers from attacking. Grim's going to shoot down the monkey so that they can both attack. Although they both can shoot me as well. I think opponent was just supposed to shoot me there. Yeah. So we'd have to draw some pretty hot ones off of this Ancestral Vision, but let's see what we can do. Attacks for 3, 5, 6. Just have shock plus Grim. Cast Ancestral Vision, targeting ourselves, of course. Not the best draws. Thing in the Ice is the kind of thing we need to get started. They attacked with both, they can't burn it out. I want to get an Ancestral Vision to start taking. I can't this turn either way. They don't have enough blue. That's fine. 9 more ourselves. Go to our next turn. Possible opponent still has counter spells for this or a bounce spell for this. Neither one of which would be ideal for us. Looks like it is the bounce spell for thing. Now, ideally, we draw another turn effect. Let's see. That leaves us dead on our asses. Alright, we are dead. Well played, opponent. So, the Burning Eater. Starting us off with a loss. Going to round 2 with blue-red burns. Kind of wild how many different ways there is to build this deck. So far, my favorite variation to play has definitely been the mono blue. I'm feeling that the Ancestral Vision might add an extra level of clunkiness. Even though you'd think Suspend cards, I know I definitely felt this way, have natural synergies with extra turns. It's actually kind of awkward. Because half the time you want them for As Foretold, and then half the time you want to suspend them. Alright, let's see what we get for match 2. Lost the die roll. Not exactly where you want to be in Modern. Wow. This hand's actually really close. If it had one more land over this Maloka, I'd probably. Let's take them all. I think this one is a keep. Put a card on bottom. And then we pregame effect in this. Exhaling fires of him. So now all we have to do is draw one land. And we can, as foretold, Ancestral Vision. So let's see what the opponent's playing. Opponent is on a multi 5 and has Polluted Delta, Mishra's Bauble, so it looks like Death Shadow. Moral Mastery. No, we don't want to show that we miracled that. We literally would have loved to miracle it next turn, but that's fine. We're not going to fetch so that we have that small, minuscule percentage of drawing an extra. Or do we fetch to get a tap land? That might be the case. I actually think we do fetch to get one of the Mystic Sanctuary. That's not really a live draw anyways. I guess I did suspend the Ancestral Vision. But as soon as I saw the Grixis Death Shadow, I didn't want to keep it in my hand. This looks like an Angler. Which is fine for us if we can get to Jace. We can just bounce it. Like their thought seizing us. And pass through the turn. They took as foretold. Oh, and Jace. Good old why either or when I can do both. Alright, remand there's actually a fabulous draw because now if they are on Gurmag Angler, we get to remand it. On Death Shadow, that's much worse. Right. If they put as K command. What I'm kind of reading. Well, unfortunate. The opponent casts a spell. This turn we might have been able to draw into a land. Instead we have to hope to do it on their turn. Opponent cycling down to 3. Alright, passing to us. Looks like we get to cast it this turn. Oh, next turn. Yes, we will. So finally, we draw an extra turn effect before we draw a land. Spoiler alert: we only had 2 of those in our deck. We had a lot more than that in land. So that's just an expensive Explorer. But it brings us to our Ancestral Vision. So let's draw 3. Can't believe we didn't hit a land. Oh my god, there it is. Alright, so we're gonna fetch. Island, as foretold. And we're gonna cast Ancestral Vision on ourselves. Alright, cool, looks pretty good. Snapplecaster Mage is a good threat. Thought Scour. Opponent has their threat. We're gonna always yield. It's gonna happen every turn. So let's go ahead and play a land here. Tap 4. Play Jace. Stubborn enough. That's fine. Oh. Cast Ancestral Vision. 3. It's good enough for the opponent, which is totally reasonable. We just drew into a ton of threats. So against Grixis Death Shadows, we bring in these Blood Moons, bring in these Thing in the Ices, bring in these Spell Pierces, out with the Fire of Invention, out with Wheel of Fate. It's really hard to assemble an A plus B combo against them. Do Temporal Masteries. Cryptic commands can be kind of reasonable and also very bad. So, definitely polarizing effects there. I think remands are definitely... They're fine against half their deck and terrible against the other. So... Couldn't take them out. Go down to just one. See how this feels. List them all again. Not like this again. Let's keep 7 this time. I think we have to go again. Alright, this is a keep. Let's put Time Warp. As Foretold on bottom. Gemstone Caverns. Exiling Mystic Sanctuary. Alright, opponent, if you have Thoughtseize, we have Spell Pierce. Our plan is to draw into Ancestral Vision. No. On the play, our opponent Thoughtseized us and we countered. Feels like we force negationed it with how hard we had to hit to do it, but that's fine. So we can just fetch an island with this, and then if we draw Blood Moon off the top, we do just get to kind of get our... Collective Brutality is just going to miss, luckily. They drain? They drain us? No. They just took a peek at us. Okay. Team Vents. Damn it, meant to grab Island. Punished if I draw... Could they have this as Foretold, or I'd be so punished for my sequencing. I said I wanted to grab Island, and then I grabbed Steam Vents, and then I had Blood. The opponent does have their basic Island. So, Stubborn Denial me, baby. That is so good that they didn't have Stubborn Denial. Oh my god, opponent just has all their basics. Well, we're losing Time Warp now. Okay, it's a Gurmag. That's fine. Not ideal for us. What would be ideal for us would have been to draw land Jace. We can still do that over the next 2 turns, though. Blood Moon, not looking to affect our opponent very much. Well, we draw a land next turn, and it's a blue land. We can Simian Spirit Guide out a Time Warp. This is pretty good. So, if I don't use Simian Spirit Guide this turn, I can next turn. So let's go with it. If they have Temur Battle Rage, we do just die. They have 2 bolts, we just die. Okay, so they didn't have Temur Battle Rage. So our as for is going to go 4 here. Cast Jace. Death Step into now. Disdainful Stroke. They can only cast that once, so we're going to go ahead and reband it. So we'll know that they have a Disdainful Stroke. But we're going to go ahead and give it back the big threat. Play out this land and pass to the turn. So we know our opponent has a Gurmag Angler. Darn. Thought Skyrim means that they don't have to tap as low as I would like them to for it. Oh good, they are going to tap all the way down for it. Alright, Time Warps and Jace. Let's see if we can do this. Draw 3 cards and then put 2 back. Going back our Mystic Sanctuary, Simian Spirit Guide. Cast with As Foretold, targeting yourself. Turn. Yep. Cast with actual mana. Go ahead and cast Time Warp. I can't. Bounce this. Move to our next turn. We always yield to As Foretold's. Draw. So, draw 3 and put 2 back. While Moloku is the combo, kind of. We have to get Blood Moon off the table, and we win the game. So, put these 2 back. Mystic Sanctuary. Cast Moloku. It's a reasonable 2/4 threat. And we'll cast with As Foretold. It has 7 count. Alright, we won the match. So we're 1-1. Beat Grixis Death Shadow. So we're against this round. Woohoo, we won the die roll. We're against E-Restore. Well then, we have all of our Fires of Invention combo. We're going to go ahead and keep this. We're going to go ahead and lead on tapped Mystic Sanctuary pass. Ideally, we draw into another Simian Spirit Guide, and opponent does not have a counterspell. That does not look like a counterspell deck so far. Who is that? A suspended Search for Tomorrow opponent? That is a suspended Search for Tomorrow. Alright, well that wasn't exactly the ideal draw. Let's go ahead and fetch here. Island. Suspend. Pass turn. So we're going to draw another land here. Just any land would be great. It looks like they're on track to a pretty fast kill. We're always going to yield to those. Land. Yes. Fires of Invention. So we're hoping to wheel away their win condition is what we're hoping to. Probably not what the opponent expected from us, judging by this pause. Opponent is just going to go sacrifice their Steve. Alright, that seems reasonable. Let's cast this Wheel of Fate. It's a little bit better when we have another set in play, but I feel like we have to cast this now. Let's see what the opponent discards. They did have Primeval Titan. They also had a Wally Acid Moss. That wouldn't have been very great for us. Alright, so Cryptic Command's kind of hilarious with Fires of Invention. So how it works is we can only cast Cryptic Command on our turn, but we can still use it as a bounce land draw, which especially against Titan Shift is basically the same thing as a Time War. The next turn I think it's just, as foretold, Cryptic Command, bounce land, draw a card, pass. They're playing. Unfortunately, we mill the Bolt because Bolt doesn't do very much. They seem to be one of those value Titan Shift decks, though, with Oracle of Moldiah. I wonder if they also have 3-drop on Corsair Crufix. Also, is Mystic Sanctuaries entering untapped? That's pretty hot. Let's part the Water Veil back on top of our deck. That's just some good deck building right there. Alright, this is gonna go grab something green forest, and then they're gonna cast another ramp spell. Is the line that I see taking. Very confused. Okay, that makes more sense. Okay. This is 6 lands currently. There's the 7th. So, draw second Cryptic Command, please. Not exactly ideal there in our set. I can Wheel of Fate next turn if I get a next turn. With Narset in play. Bounce a land. Right. Cast Narset. Minus the Narset. Hopefully reveal a Cryptic to keep them off of doing. Alright. If they don't read Fires of Invention, they'll think that we have Cryptic. Which is what we'd like to do, but we don't. If the opponent has the Scape Shift. This is looking like Scape Shift is going on the stack. Titan. Titan is marginally more beatable. So Narset will die here. Alright, give me some cards. Ancestral Visions. Next card turn? I'll take them next turn. So, Island this turn. First spell. Time Warp. Second spell, Narset. See what we grab with Narset. Already cast a Time Warp this turn and guaranteed one. I'll take a Jace. But our next turn. Draw a million cards. Oh no. So we're going to turn off auto yields. We have to bounce our own Fires of Invention with Cryptic Command or we lose the game. Target ourselves. And then before this one resolves, we're going to Cryptic Command. Turn target permanent to its owner's hand. Draw a card. On Fires of Invention. We're going to draw 3 more. Because now we can cast this, targeting ourselves again. And draw for turn. Alright. We hit a Time Warp in there. So Time Warp ourselves. Play a Mystic Sanctuary, targeting the Time Warp. Yes. And then we'll yield through this turn. Discard a whole bunch of extras. This island, this remand, this other remand. Our turn again. Draw Time Warp. Play Fires of Invention. That's 1 spell this turn. Second spell this turn. Minus the Narset. Take Temporal Mastery. Fetch. So this is 1, 2, 5, 6, 7. So not quite the point to put Part the Water Veil on top. More land drops though. Yep. And go to our next turn. Draw. My land. So Fires of Invention. What if the opponent's just considering if they want to continue watching us go off? Jace being the concession point would be very fair. Alright, let's keep going. That's enough extra turn effects now. We get to start taking up Jace. So cast that with Fire's Invention, targeting ourselves. And we're going to go to our next turn. Upkeep, fetch. Because we don't have any more Mystic Sanctuary. Grab Steam Vents tapped. Draw. So +2 Jace on them. Yep. Time Warp targeting us. Temporal Mastery targeting us. Turn. Draw. Wheel of Fate. That's Temporal Mastery. No, we're fine with them drawing Valakut as their card that they draw. So we're going to We have not cast any spells yet this turn. We're going to... I don't think there's a reason for us to cast this As Foretold. Let's just go ahead and cast this Wheel of Fate. Our opponent will draw the Valakut. Play Gemstone Caverns here. And pass the turn. Go to the next turn. Narset. Temporal Mastery. Base tick up on us. Yes, we will put As Foretold on the bottom of our library. Pass with Fires of Invention Narset. Keep the higher loyalty one. See if we can find Days Undoing. We did. Alright. It's Ancestral. I think we just kill them if we take Temporal Mastery, so we're just going to do that. Shame we couldn't grab Moloku there. I did see it was part of the pile. So we go to our next turn here. Draw. Minus this. Grab Time Warp. Cast Temporal Mastery. Cast Time Warp. We're doing the slow kill with Jace because we did discard our thing earlier. Uptick on ourselves. Put Fledge Strand on the bottom. Pass to the turn. So, next turn. Draw. Play Island. Take up Jace. On them. Nah, Oracle Mold Die can stay right where it's. So we know the opponent has Valakut left in hand. There's no reason not to Ancestral Vision ourselves. So we have 13 cards left in library. Go ahead and cast Narset. Keep higher loyalty Narset. Down Narset. Take a Remand even though we don't need it. Pass this turn. Discard a Polluted Delta. So how we win this turn is we're going to ultimate the Jace on our opponent, and then we're going to Ancestral Recall them. Opponent let us do everything else, but didn't let us Ancestral Recall them. That's so sad. Alright, so they're probably bringing in enchantment removal, which is a little unfortunate. Because obviously we want our Blood Moons to stick around. Wheel of Fate obviously not super stellar against them. Remands are pretty good, but not super amazing. Cryptic Commands are pretty good if we don't have Fires of Invention in our deck. Maybe a little bit too much of a non-bow there. Cut an As Foretold. As Foretold's so good at generating a though. I think that's fine. Alright, opponent's gonna choose to be on the play, obviously. Little do they know it's exactly what we want them to do, is be on the play. Boom. Alright, opponent, we can literally, well, I mean, we could Spell Pierce if we wanted to. Your first play. So we're going to play an island and suspend Ancestral. That's the turn. Our goal here is to spell pierce their first ram spell. Plain and simple. If it's Steve, we shrug our shoulders. Steve is Sakura Tribuilder. For those of you that are unfamiliar, 1/1 elf snake shaman that searches for a land. See if our opponent shows him. This one. We're going to go ahead and take our turn now. See if we can draw into an As Foretold and fire off this Ancestral Vision immediately. Opponent realizes that we might have some sort of stifle effect for their land and searches immediately. This spell pierce loses value. Go ahead and play this in our set. So take this As Foretold and shock in the Steam Benson pass. So we now have the whole As Foretold Ancestral Vision combo. Hope we live long enough to make it matter. Oh yes, please. That is exactly what I would love to spell pierce. That's a hot one to get. Feel kind of lucky we get to tag an Acid Moss. Yes, we would absolutely love to miracle this. While it puts us a turn behind of casting this As Foretold, it ticks down the other one we have in Suspend a turn faster. Jace the Mind Sculptor. Cryptic. I'm gonna take Jace. Move to our next turn. Not draw the land yet, but we still have an As Foretold to cast. And then holding priority, we're gonna cast immediately to draw. Still barely hit the land. Alright, so we have Days Undoing Narset next turn. So that's pretty hot. See what they have. Stevie Bandito is fine. I think they have another Moonwally Acid Moss, but they're afraid of Spell Pierce now. I'm not laughing at our opponent, as totally a reasonable fear after getting your first Acid Moss Spell Pierced. I imagine they probably don't still have bolts in, but they do remove Jason Narset, so maybe. It's definitely tanking currently. I guess if we hit another land, we'll actually Time Warp first. But other than that, yeah, we're Days Undoing. Well, I guess depending on what this vision gives us, right? This vision's gonna give us the 5th land. Yeah, there it is, right there. So we're gonna fetch here. Island. Play island. Cast Time Warp targeting ourselves. And then we're gonna pass to our next turn. Always yield to that, of course. So Mystic Sanctuary puts it back on top, but we can't draw it this turn. This the turn we just play Jace. Zero Jace. Bloodmoon's such an awkward draw at this point. Mystic Sanctuary, Temporal Mastery. Play Mikoro. And we have to pass turn to our opponent. Non-zero chance we just die on that. Opponent chose not to sack the Steve. Maybe they just want to get rid of the Narset. Seems pretty reasonable. Yep. Getting Narset off the table makes the Dazen doing a whole lot worse. I can buy it. I can dig it. Explorer's fine. Ooh, a second Explorer. Let's see if they actually are just digging for the land. Valakut, double Valakut. Close. Opponent almost has enough lands to go off. These Blood Moons are definitely going to be good. Alright, let's go to our turn. So first things first, let's take an extra turn. Yes, we want to cast this. Let's see. We also want to cast Narset. We want to zero this Jace. Our land. Mystic Sanctuary is fine. So let's put back Jace, Blood Moon, Mystic Sanctuary, targeting Time Warp. Yes. Time Warp ourselves. We're just getting another Time Warp back in the deck because obviously we're going to shuffle with Dazen doing next turn. So, go to our next turn. Blood Moon our opponent, Dazen doing them to one hit card in hand and see where we go. Blood Moon. Yes, that is foretold. And that'll win us the match. Alright, we're 2-1 with blue-red turns. Let's see how we can continue to run this back. See if we can make it into another 4-1 league. Back-to-back 4-1 leagues would be pretty hot. Alright, next opponent's ready for the beatdown. I lied. It does not look like the opponent's ready for the beatdown. Looks like the opponent's ready to wait 13 seconds. Alright, there we go. Sydney Dude. You think he's from Sydney? Alright, we're on the play, so we can't really keep this. Let's mulligan it. This hand's fine. So we're going to keep this. We're actually going to put back Wheel of Fate. And we're going to play Mystic Sanctuary tapped. See what the opponent's on. Astrolabe. Alright, so that can be literally one of about a dozen decks currently. Play this and pass the turn. So hoping to draw into any land. Ideally, it's not Gemstone Cavendish, but Gemstone Cavendish does currently work for our situation. See if they hit their second land drop. They do. Emery. That's a scary one for us. It's one of the reasons we have bolts in the board. They build both Urza and Sai. That's pretty good. They play Mox Amber. That's fine. Sure, play another Astral. I want to draw a land, so I'm going to give myself the marginal percentage chance better of whiffing. So, they might be the Jeskai Ascendancy deck, which good chance they are. They are. Good chance that this Narset's going to be very good. Find out. Field Fight's kind of what we're looking for. Yes, if they can't kill this Narset, then As Foretold kind of messes them up. Alright, I can get down on that. Now, As Foretold and Land are both good draws. Oh, this is just an Urza. That's bad news. Opponent casts here. On a floating 3. Looks like it's going to be a Saheeli, probably. Saheeli would be very not good for us. It is Saheeli. They will now continue to cast artifacts for the next trick. So they are definitely one of the decks that we have Hurkyl's Recall on the sideboard for. Pretty smart play on the opponent's part here. They saw we grabbed Wheel of Fate and they're taking Narset off the. Yep. I don't even know if we have lines to still win this game. Alright, I mean, this Jace is not going to live. Stacking double Temporal Master on top of your deck seems like one of the best ways to try and get there. If by some miracle they decide to let this Jace live and don't kill us, they just have lethal, right? 6, 7, 8, 9. Not quite yet. Gotta cast a few more things, opponent. Mox Amber represents +2 power, +3, 4 power. Still not quite enough. Opponent casts here. Maybe they're just taking a spin with Urza. Land. Hey, we got lucky. Alright, so we got lucky and Urza spun into a land. They're trying to lethal us this turn by hitting any artifact. Any artifact off of the Urza spin kills us. Any Urza off the Urza spin kills us. Any, I guess not Saheeli because they didn't copy first. If they had copied the Astrolabe first, Saheeli killed us too. It's kind of wild. It gives it haste, right? I think. Nope, does not give it haste. Okay. The Urza. Why do I feel like that was lethal if they just cast that? That was, right? They just cast it, copy. Oh, it still is. I'm saying. Yeah, 9 and 9. 18, we did. I guess there was no wrong way to skin this cat, but. Okay, well. How much we can do about their deck? We're going to cut these Wheel of Fates. And a Fires. Feeling like the mono blue core is definitely the strongest part of the deck. Red Splash is felt relatively weak. Very sad that we don't have access to, like, Stony Silence. That would be an excellent way to help combat this deck. Mind you, as you saw, they would have still done pretty well even with Stony Silence in play, as Urza is a messed up magic card. Alright, we would like to play first. Alright, we're going to keep this. It is by no means the best, but we do get to pass with Spell Pierce up and then Suspend Vision on 2. Guess I could have suspended on 1 and held it Spell Pierce on 2. Definitely did that backwards. Just to avoid playing a tap land. Especially when look at them play out all their artifacts now anyways. Killed Goose makes another artifact, yep. Alright, well, Simian Spirit Guide's a little bit interesting, so then suspend Ancestral Vision and pass the turn. We do have Jace the Mind Sculptor with any land draw next turn, which is pretty hype. Astrolabe, they cannot currently pay for a Spell Pierce, so we're gonna go ahead and go for the Spell Pierce. Not that Astrolabe is huge, but we'd prefer they just have less artifacts in play. I mean, that's 1. Sacking the artifact there is 2. That's fine. Totally missed that. Bird's Paradise is in play. Yeah, looks like the opponent did draw into the land. Kind of sacrifice the land too, because Gilded Goose only works while you have food. Not ideal, not ideal at all. I think we have to cast the Snar set. So using the Simian Spirit Guide there means that the Jace is no longer coming down when this Ancestral does. It's probably coming down the turn after. I think we take our 1 of Fires of Invention here. 1 of Fires of Invention. You don't need to have multiple in your deck if you just always draw it. So hopefully opponent didn't just naturally have a combo or an Urza or something very powerful, and they need to cantrip a little bit into it. If so, this Snar set should put in some work. They have Urza mana. Ooh, Abrupt Decay? Everflowing Chalice for 1. Okay. Land, please, please. Oh god, we really want. Opponent casts. Looks like Astrolabe. 3 mana. What is this? Oh, Saheeli. That's fine. It's not ideal for us by any means, but it's fine. Alright, they're gonna make some food. Kinda funny. Yep. They can gain 3 life as well. This is why we kind of cut those combos as well. Is, as you'll notice, it's the next... Oh, because we didn't suspend it on 1 like I was supposed to. So we're going to take this Ancestral Vision. We're going to choke on our card advantage and die. We just could not hit a land. Sorry, guys. These are the 2 lands that were in our opening hand. Narset's off the board, but that doesn't really matter. Maybe it does. Maybe opponent literally has a handful of cantrips. Nope. Cannot believe I'm seeing this Ancestral Vision come off suspend. It's gonna be all lands. Nope. Couple lands though. Draw step, another land, play a land. Play an As Foretold. I still think... Nope. I still think we cast this because we don't mind discarding some cards. Like this Fires of Invention. Go to end step. We actually have them in Loku lock, ironically set up here, if we can just survive a couple of turns. We need to be able to play Maloku. And Time Warp in the same turn. I think Fires of Invention is actually how we're going to be able to do that. Alright. Ancestral Vision, Jace, Temporal. Alright. I can dig it. Sai's pretty good. Sai also draws a lot of cards, which is a little awkward. Which is what they're doing now. Opponent plays a cycle land. Their deck is incredibly consistent. That's not a knock, that's a praise, definitely. See what they're casting here. Draws a card with Sai. Okay. Not drawing a card with Sai. Ah, getting with the Thopter first, then sacking it to Sai. That seems fine. Smart even. Card. So we actually get to win the game, assuming that we survive 2 more turns. This will enter untapped if we want it to. I don't think targeting Spell Pierce gets us very far. So we're going to put Temporal Mastery on top of our library. Yes. Can't cast Fires of Invention because I didn't fetch this turn. That's fine though because I have 2 Time Warp, right? Yeah. So I'm playing this one a little fast and loose, but I think passing with Cryptic Command is still fine. So opponent creates a food token, which is pretty good. Opponent fetches. EE40. That also destroys nothing of ours, so yes, we are fine with this. Yep. Creates another food token. Looks like they're going to sack those foods in order to draw some cards. Kind of some strong synergies out of the opponent's deck. Looking back, I actually think this might be the better line to Fires of Invention since we do have double Time Warp. I'm fine with them having Mishra's Bauble. They already know what the top card of our library is. Sack and draw a card. They forgot to float them on off the opal first, I think. I'm just gonna get in there. I'm gonna be sad for not putting Spell Pierce on top, aren't I? Alright. So, end of turn. We're gonna return side of there on his hand. We don't want to mess up this miracle. Oh, that's just great. That's fine. So they counted our cryptic command. So as long as they don't have another counter spell, we win the game now. Yes, we don't actually need to miracle this, but I feel like getting the extra turn in could not hurt. Cast off 2 islands. Play. Fetch. Get tap land. No. Next turn. Okay. Up to 3. Alright, that's pretty good. So Mystic Sanctuary. Targeting Cryptic Command is fine. Okay. Now we get to Fires of Invention. Then cast a Time Warp. Then next turn we get to Time Warp and then Moloku. Targeting us. Let's move to our next turn. Alright, we're up to 4 counters on the As Foretold. So let's cast Moloku, cast Cryptic, and see if we win the game. Or cast Time Warp. Alright, so opponent might not know how this interaction works. So now we're going to create a 1/1 illusion creature with flying opponent and then put Time Warp on top of our. Yes. Okay. We're going to go ahead and make a couple more tokens this turn. That way we can just start getting in much quicker. See what the opponent has. Should have just gone to our next turn, then we'd had Cryptic up. Yeah, well, not making that mistake a second time. Okay, it's our turn. We now have 2 fresh spells to cast. The first one will be Time Warp, and the second one will be Cryptic Command, if necessary. Cast with Fires, target ourselves. Float 1. Bring it back. Cast Mystic Sanctuary, or play Mystic Sanctuary, target Time Warp. Yep. Yep. Alright, we no longer need these extra lands since we have Fires and Cryptic, so. Okay, now. We messed up, we did it too many times. Haha, that's funny. So let's attack with all our tokens this turn that we can. That one has flying. They only have 2 dudes. Yeah. Just attack with the 2 flyers. If they want to trade, that's fine. I got a little overzealous. I didn't need to do that every turn. Oops. At least I realized it not one turn later. So the cool thing about this, though, is that even though this Mystic Sanctuary will enter tapped or whatever, we do still get 2 spells this turn, so we can go Time Warp, targeting ourselves. We'll get an extra turn, and then combat, attack all of these cards at Sydney Dude. I don't think we'll have a problem ending the game with the clock on this one. Second main, we're gonna Days Undoing. Boink. New hand, new deck. You're into the Time Warp. Woohoo. Alright, and the fetch land. So we're back in business. Cast this on us. Got opponent. Play Polluted Delta, fetch. Mystic Sanctuary. Yep, that's the one. Yep. So let's go ahead and go to combat, and we're just gonna attack with these guys. Attack all of these cards at Sydney. Alright, opponent is gonna blow up all our tokens, which is fine. Opponent realizes that they are dead. They are just, how should we put it? Running out our clock. Let's go ahead and Time Warp. Return a land to my hand. Play it. Alright, we got it. Opponent was willing to concede finally. Alright, well. I think we just run it back. I'm having size as well as make those 1/4s not so good. A bunch of cycle lands, maybe some number of blood moons. Yeah, let's go. Let's go. Our deck already looks pretty good. Push it to a 0.3. Let's see. So opponent's gonna put themselves on the play, which is scary. Alright, I think we're obligated to keep the hand that has the Hercules Recall in it. So we're gonna keep this. Alright, let's see how many artifacts our opponent puts into play on turn 1. So far it's only 2. So, of cute note, we do have Simeon's Spirit Guide, Hercules Recall your board if we need it. I really don't want to give it to him. Okay, well, now we have to let them Thoughtseize away our Hercules recall. This is why we should have considered casting the Hercules recall. Ooh, if I took As Foretold, that's kind of an interesting choice. And then cast Emery, yep. A little late once Emery's already resolved, that's for sure. We would not bring in Bolts for Emery because we wanted to hopefully avoid that half of the deck. Spoiler alert, we did not successfully manage to avoid that half of the deck. Time Warp is not terrible. Unfortunately, we would have been able to play the As Foretold this turn and get it ticking up, which would have been huge value. Opponent's going to get to draw an extra card every turn thanks to that Emery. You know it's not getting much better? This Hercules recall. I'm literally, it reads destroy target food. And as sad as that is, oh god, maybe they should have floated in response there. Alright, that's fine. They can cast a Mishra's Bauble now. They did have another land, so it's not like it actually Stone Rained them. Unfortunate. If they have another 0-drop artifact, they do. Looks like Sai or Sahili. Yep. I think we need to Jace the Mind Sculptor off the top. Look who's not good enough, right? Look who's close. Alright, so what we do this turn doesn't feel like a super hot line, but I feel it is the correct line. Is we're going to Cryptic Command, bounce draw since they are tapped out. On Emery. Still have 2 draws with the Mishra's Baubles. But then that takes them off of having Mox Opal. But I think I like this line. Okay. The opponent knows what I'm about to draw. It's an Ancestral Vision. Okay. I'm not exactly unhappy about that. Now an As Foretold off the top looks pretty hot. Because then we can draw enough lands to hopefully get this Moloku Time Warp lock set up again. I'd like to know, even with our opponent making us kill them that last game, effectively, we're at 12 minutes, they're at 10. I don't think this game will come down the clock, but just kind of interesting. Opponent mills a paradoxical outcome, too. A while ago, but still nonetheless interesting. Alright, let's see what we can draw here. Wish we had bolts in our deck. It's not awful. That is not awful. We can now put Hercules Recall on top of our library at instant speed. Or Cryptic Command. Yet this thing makes foods. It's pretty cool. They've now turned their Opal back on and right back off. See what they play this turn. Bauble. Seems pretty good. Yep. Oh, that's Urza. Urza make a big boy. Yep, Urza makes a big one. I think we just put Cryptic Command on top of the deck. Then we go Cryptic Tap Draw. Since that isn't target, their Veil of Summers shouldn't matter. I like that. Okay, opponent's gonna chunk in here for some damage. So we're really hoping to draw into a land off of this Cryptic Command, I'm pretty sure. So if we bounce everything, opponent has a Mox Opal and 2 things to rebuild. Has Urza though. I think our only line is to play Mystic Monastery or Mystic Sanctuary. Target Cryptic. As much as I'd love to target that Hercule's Recall. We're gonna pass through and pass to them. We're in a position where fires draw as well. So if we draw land off this into fires, we've potentially put the game in a position. We potentially put ourselves in a position to win the game. So opponent can't quite go to combat here. And just make it a big enough dude though. Okay. Right here is where we want to tap all creatures our opponents control and draw a card. Hopefully hitting a land. Or Fires of Invention and a land next turn. Oh no, we're just dead. Opponent's paying some form of cost. There's no way that doesn't kill us. Got opponent. I don't know what it is, but oh, it's Metallic Rebuke, isn't it? Yeah, tap a couple of the artifacts and totally get us here. Well played, opponent. Alright. For the record, feel that was one of our worst matchups. But that was some fun Magic to play, and let's get on to this match 5, see if this is a 2-3 league or a 3-2 league. I'm hoping it's a 3-2 league. I like getting my money. Alright, so, Not actually cast Fires of Invention, so we're going to take a mulligan this one. Hand to keep. Card we're putting back is probably Moloku. Definitely putting this in now. And exiling Cryptic. So let's see. The opponent's on Prismatic Vista, which means he'll be playing an Astrolabe on 1. Alright, that's pretty good because that allows us to cast 3-man to try and find our 4th mana source. If the opponent just unloads here. Are you, opponent? Are you gonna unload on us? Uh-oh, a Thoughtseize. No. Take your spell and put it back into your hand, opponent. We don't appreciate Thoughtseize around these parts. Simian Spirit Guide's looking pretty good if we can rip it. Uh-oh, that fetches Swamp. Hey, but they didn't go get it. So we're gonna get down Mikokoro and play an As Foretold. They may have Spell Pierce, and that's fine. This will quietly tick up in the background if it results. Like it will. Alright, we're getting Thoughtseize this turn and losing Jace. But that leaves a lot of good draws off the top with this As Foretold. Maybe the opponent's just casting something big? Ah. I'm so happy with that. So, reasons why it sounds like I shouldn't be happy with that. I just got my thing bounced. That being said, I also get to cast this Jace. So, things that make me pretty happy. Jace resolves. Let's go ahead and 0 this Jace. Put back double As Foretold since we have to draw one of them and then pass the turn. The opponent has here. We actually should have put back double Time Warp so that they Thoughtseize away one of our As Foretold, but that's fine. Urza plus Thoughtseize. Seems pretty good. Instant speed Thoughtseize even better. That's a 6/6. Thought cast, draw 2. Oof. Oof. Opponent's just doing crazy things over there. Crazy things. So opponent is going to just go for the Thoughtseize now, not realizing they could do it on our turn. Imagine they take Narset because they are the paradoxical outcome version. And I can bounce the Construct and then they're in a pretty awkward spot. To bounce the Construct and make, yeah. So we're going to fetch here because we already know that the top card's another As Foretold. Play an island. Cast Time Warp on us. See if we can find another fetch land. No. No. Remand is a dead card with Teferi in play, so we kind of want it gone as quickly as possible. We're going to go ahead and Time Warp ourselves. 0 this Jace. This and this back. Play a Gemstone Cavern. Just keep the non-blue one on accident. Pass the turn. That was definitely just a misplay. It's where you drop your land and play and go, no, I want it back in my hand. So I'm going to cast this as foretold. Draw 3 cards. Ooh, Days Undo. That's pretty hot. Mystic Sanctuary. Targeting Time Warp. Yep. Bounce the Construct. And then Days Undoing. Fine by me. My hand mostly does nothing. So now the opponent's turn. This hand's a little awkward too. This hand's great if we draw a Narset though. Okay, going to accept Tef. 7 whole cards to spend. Astrolabe's a good one to start with, especially knowing that we're a 4 Narset deck. I mean, I guess they don't know the exact number, but we definitely have Narsets in our deck. Looks like opponent's going for a spin with Urza. Maybe it's paradoxical outcome and they're choosing targets. It is paradoxical outcome and they're choosing targets. So all the 1 and 0 mana stuff, the 1 mana stuff pays for itself after a paradoxical outcome, and the 0 mana stuff generates mana. That's +1. That's +1. So opponent's at 37 cards left in deck. Apparently could Grape Shot kill us. We do have 7th land, Hardcast Temporal Mastery though, which is kind of hilarious. But it's still going off. 10 cards in hand, black floating. Eleven cards in hand, black floating. Thoughtcast, man. Absolutely broken in this deck. So it's only right that we sit and watch our opponent combo. After all, we make our opponents sit and watch us combo all the time. This looks like another paradoxical outcome. Another Astrolabe, yep. Sure. We're hoping it's a spin with Urza over another paradoxical outcome. But unfortunately with Teferi in play, even though we have counter spells in our deck, we cannot interact with it. Teferi, Slayer of Fun. This looks like a spin. Alright, if this is a spin with Urza, that makes me feel like we have a pretty good chance of comboing off. Remember, suspend cards do not work with Teferi in play. Ugh, outcome. Now I'm pretty sure that kills us. I don't know what they actually kill us with. In the paradoxical outcome version, or I would just concede. So Sai makes 1,000,000 tokens, but if this is just going to be a thing of I'm making 1,000,000 tokens, then that's not going to be good. If there's some way to give them all haste or something along those lines, sure. But currently, I feel I can beat what my opponent has on the. Especially if they go below 7 cards left in their library. We just get to literally just go Wheel of Fate, win the game. Let's see how that goes. Opponent does need to put enough power in play to kill us. Which I'm sure they can do. But hopefully, like I said, it draws them low enough in cards that they die. Thoughtcast, opponents at 15 cards left in library. We need to see 9 cards more disappear. 9 cards more. See if we can see 9 cards more leave our opponent's battlefield. I hate that we have to play this out, but we have a very realistic line to win this game. Pentad Prism for 2. Sure. That actually is a Pentad Prism for 3 mana, because you can remove 2 counters and then still tap it. Pentad Prism, it's what's for breakfast. The opponent might also just put enough power in play to kill us over the course of 2 turns. That seems pretty reasonable, too. Five. That's just an Urza spin. Spin reveals Mox Opal. Mox Opal's another Thopter for them, so probably should have considered Psy. So we're gonna go ahead and highlight it, hoping they remember that they could be drawing cards as Psy, instead of just losing their Mox Opals to the Legend rule. Not sure what this is. Looks like just a spin. Opiate Paradox Clock, come Betty. You. It'd be hilarious if they actually had Laboratory Maniac and were killing us this turn. Which is possible. Like I said, I don't know how they're winning the game. That's why I'm making them actually kill me. If it was like, oh no, dude, once they've achieved this point, they're gonna cast an Emrakul on, I'd be like, oh, cool, okay, no, never mind, then let's go ahead and move to the next game. But I don't know how they kill me. And I don't think they can, nothing personal, actually get up to get an Emrakul currently. Oh my god, opponent drew to 4 cards left in their library. So they either have Laboratory Maniac. That has to be it, right? If they don't have Laboratory Maniac, we win the game with Wheel of Fate, which is so appropriate with the Teferi. Let's put it that way. Astrolabe draws. Fine. I have to feel they're comboing to a Lab Man. I guess it could also be 4 mana Jace. Technically worse because I could be holding Force of Negation over here. Alright, punch down to 1 card left in their library. Fisher's Bobble's fine. Another Bobble's fine. Maybe they're leaving 1 card left in their library because they feel like they'll get another draw step. Now they're just making a lethal board. That seems pretty good, really. So what we're going to do is we're going to untap. We're going to cast this Wheel of Fate with absolutely no red mana in play. And we're going to, ironically, this opponent could have put Engineered Explosives on 3 through the course of their combo. Instead, it looks like they're just going to cast it to make a large amount of tokens. Once again, unless they fling these or some way give them haste, I'm not worried about this. Opponent is just comboing off and using their clock. The opponent, mind you, could also be passing with 4 Force of Negation in their hand, knowing that they have this one no matter what. Alright, is this our lab man? Meriden Besieged. There are 15 or more artifacts in our graveyard. Alright, nice. Now that's the way to kill your opponent. I like it. Alright, so opponent's gonna draw a card, discard a card, and kill us with Meriden Besieged. Alright, so we were actually dead that turn. No longer any feel bads as far as that goes. Spell Piercers are better against the versions they're trying to combo off. Fire's actually better, I think, in this version, or in this. Because they have Teferi, I think I want to take out Remand. Yeah, definitely. Alright, that's a cute win condition and explains why they kept their Engineered Explosives for 0. Alright, this is a really rough keep, and I know this. But the opponent does draw like a million cards, so a turn 2 Narset backed up by a turn 1 Spell Pierce is the recipe for a game we're winning. And pass the turn. Alright, yeah, no, you can't have that. Since they do deal like a million damage at once, I am going to go ahead and shock, but we're going to Spell Pierce. And hope to draw an untap land for this Narset. Yes, it's not the best, but it'll work. So Temporal Mastery gives us another draw. The most hilarious way is we have to exile Simian's Spirit Guide. Cast it. Alright, we're just literally just taking another turn. No land drop to make or anything. It's rather pathetic. Oh my. Okay, I don't often tilt. That hurt a little bit. A lot, even. Okay. I mean, there's a speculative keep, and it looks like that we are going to be maximum punished for it. I am going to suspend our Wheel of Fate now. So that when I eventually cast this Narset, it hopefully absolutely ruins our opponent. That was a cute way to win, though, with Meriden Besieged. And with... Oh, excuse me. With Teferi in play, you know you're not getting messed with. We have doubles of everything except this Jace. But don't worry, we can't cast it either. If you let us keep the Jace, though, we'll try and put these Temporal Masteries back on top. And if you take a Temporal Mastery, we'll hope to draw to a fetch. So, I think Jace is probably the take there, but who knows. Alright, there's Sai. So we have one more Temporal Master in our deck, and we don't really want to top deck it now either. Land? Alright. And our set. Set minus. Looking for something like a Fires of Invention. Don't mind if I do. So land drop allows us to go Fires of Invention plus Jace. That seems pretty good. One has a lot of lands over there. Probably attacking Narset for 2. Yep. It says down to 1. See if we hit the land. And needles, daggers, sad. Alright. So not to give our opponent the resource now, but we will be Miko Coring during, well, their turn so that they don't actually draw the card thanks to Narset. Tef's fine. That's fine. Narset's still in play, so yep. Right, with this attack is when I have to activate Miko Koro because they're about to take Narset off the map. Here's if they attack both, they do. Alright, let's Miko Koro. See if I would have hit the land. Would have. And it would have been a tap land. Oh no. So we would have been able to play it. I still think it was right to deny our opponent the draw. Especially since they ended up denying them 2 since they took down the Teferi. Land? Oh, tap land. Alright, Mystic Sanctuary pass. I think our thing comes off next turn. Yep. Oh, that's great. It actually will not come off because of Teferi. So because Teferi's in play, it stops things that are suspended from happening. So good news is they still only have 3 power worth of threats. So I'm not quite on the we're dead yet train. I will say this game definitely could have gotten better for us. But we're not dead yet. We're not dead yet. We will be soon. Draw a card. It's an interesting one, so that won't be cast. You have to put it on the stack. Only Moto makes you put it on the stack and then does not allow you to cast it. Like, here's a spell, you can't do anything. Ha 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 ha. Let's Fires of Invention. Should have tapped Miko Koro. That way we can still suspend Ancestral Vision this turn, but didn't. Hopefully Fires, well, even still we'd want to suspend it. Hopefully Fires resolves though. Does not look like it will be. Force negation seems completely reasonable though. So not being able to suspend this turn is a little bit awkward. Teferi making it where we can't miracle these, also a little bit awkward. Oh, not the draw we need to see. What is it? Overflowing Chalice. Pentad Prism. Same. All good. Similar things. So Needle on Engineered Explosives actually shuts down their deck. That's kind of hilarious too. Oh no, they can sack them all with Psy. Oh man, their deck's hot. Oh man, their deck's hot. Alright. Can we draw into a time warp? Please. One time warp. That is not the time warp I desired. Looks like I'm gonna have to do some of my own work. I'm gonna go ahead and put double Mystic Sanctuary on top. Suspend this, play this, pass the turn. I got the battlefield a little bit squished here. Let's go ahead and hide all those. So if we leave one of the Mystic Monasteries on top, it guarantees us being able to mastery. And I think that's worth it. Opponent kills their Teferi, that would be our ideal situation. Thank God they did. Okay. Sweet. Depending on what they have, where they attack, what they do, looks like we might get, oh no, they have another Teferi. Okay. We are not going to be able to set up some very nice temporal mastery stuff. Oh, maybe we are. Jace is off the board, right? Only 3 at Jace. Man, wish we had an unsummon to punish our opponent. Alright, so I'm a Mystic Sanctuary. I'm gonna not want to put a Spell Pierce on top. No. Cast Temporal Mastery. It gets countered by Spell Pierce. Alright, let's fetch here. Basic Island is plenty. Five. They have a Karn Strike token, we just die on their turn, so let's see if we can take a couple more. Hear me out, I have a plan. I'm gonna play as Jace. Zero this Jace. Put Jace Temporal Mastery on top of my deck. Mystic Sanctuary, choose not to do it. And play an Narset. Then we have an extra turn on top of our deck. Hopefully they don't have a Teferi, and the extra turn on top of our deck, plus Narset stopping them from being able to draw many cards this turn, gets us there. So it looks like they're about to fix the whole Narset not about letting them draw cards this turn problem right now. Which is good, because that means we untap with the Jace with an extra turn. Alright, opponent just going for us. That's fine too. We go to 3. Alright, opponents just had enough of our shit. Let's go ahead and Miraculous Temporal Mastery. It's not really a miracle, we knew it was coming. Cast it. But has force of negation. Okay. Maybe the opponent has double force of negation and that's why they went for us. That would get us. Cryptic command, huh? I can get behind a cryptic command, tap your team, draw a card. Draw cards, then put cards back on top of my library. Play Polluted Delta, play Polluted Delta. I think we're fine with just passing with cryptic command. So if we're really lucky, we also get to Miracle of Temporal Mastery. So let's find out. Alright. I did not have the counterspell that turn. Bobble. Okay. That's fine. Make 2 dudes. Like they're forgetting they can't draw cards and they're about to sack. Yep. They're prevented from drawing the card. It's an EE for 3. Guy's just going to draw a card again. Okay. Sure, at least that's going to try and draw a card on our turn. Go ahead and fetch here. Grab our last Mystic Sanctuary. Target Cryptic. Yep. Alright, during their end step, we're going to go ahead and each player draws a card. They will not draw a card, as Narset is a fair and balanced Magic card. Four, five, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Looks like we get to part the Water Veil next turn and begin to start beating in. The opponent does get to draw this card. Go ahead and Ancestral Recall ourselves. Ooh, Urkel. Speaking of recalls, Days Undoing. Oh, they already drew a card this turn too. 3, 4, 5. Time Warp targeting myself. Urkel's Recall targeting them. Play land. Fetch. Island. Take up Jace targeting them. Doesn't really matter. No. And then Days Undoing. That'll remove their hand. Go to our next turn. We would like to Miracle this Temporal Mastery. Yes. Cast it for blue. Start with a Narset, looking for an extra turn effect here. Cryptic Command's real close. Alright, let's go ahead and zero the Jace. I guess we're just passing with like double Cryptic Command up. We're gonna play those tapped. Oh, here's Time Warp. Never mind, I lied. We're doing the Time Warp again. Alright, so now cast Time Warp. We're going to play Steam Vents tapped. Steam gives us the option to untap it, which is good. Don't really want the option to untap it. Alright, so 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Perfect. Okay. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Moloku. Moloku blue, pick it up. Mystic Sanctuary targeting. At least it auto targets it if it's the only one. Jace 0. Put 2 back. Cast Time Warp on ourselves. We have achieved infinite against our opponent, which is ironic considering their deck's usually the one that goes infinite. We're going to go ahead and just get an additional dude on the board. And pass to this turn. Discard Flooded Strand so we don't accidentally fetch. Okay, so Mystic Sanctuary. Yes. Pick up Mystic Sanctuary. Make another 1/1 flyer. Pick up Gemstone Caverns. Make another 1/1 flyer. Let's go to combat. Opponent has no cards in hand, so they are just making us kill them, which is fine. We kill them, we will. Let's go discard. Discard a couple lands. Our turn, draw. Cast Time Warp, targeting ourselves. Play Mystic Sanctuary, targeting Time Warp. Yep. Alright, opponent concedes. Opponent has like 3 minutes left on the clock. Like, anything that buys us extra time, I think we're just bringing in. And we're not going to focus on actually killing our opponent. We're just going to focus on trying to In that vein, they do have a ton of basics though, but you know what? I think because of the way we win this game, we take in the Blood Moons too. Total different sideboard plan because we're playing to our opponent having 3 minutes left on the clock. This looks like a mulligan to me. This hand looks like a keep to me. Bottom this Cryptic Command. Alright, we have double Spell Pierce and a Blood Moon. Alright, sealed through this turn. So we're gonna play Fled Strand and pass through this turn. Okay. If the opponent has anything else they want to do this turn, we're gonna fetch. See if it's an Emery or something. Not look like Blood Moon's going to be particularly good this game. That's something we can't let resolve. That'll make a really fast Urza happen. So let's see. I'm going to go ahead and grab an island here and Spell Pierce off the island. The reason why is we can always fetch red later. It's going to be all for this turn. See, like, Steam Vents was a great draw there. Because in addition to being able to play Steam Vents tapped this turn, we'll have Mystic Sanctuary able to enter untapped as well. So we'll be able to fetch Basic Island and then try and Blood Moon them. And then Mystic Sanctuary, I guess, enters untapped either way because Blood Moon. So targeting us with a Bauble. Fetching here. Let's see if it's a Teferi. Thoughtseize. It's Thoughtseize. Alright, opponent. They're going to take away our Jace more than likely here. We're going to turn off auto yields because we still might want a Spell Pierce. Probably can play around this Spell Pierce pretty darn well. So let's just go ahead and play a Fledged Strand. I'm going to go ahead and be cheeky and try and cut them off of double blue here. So they can't cast Urza without double blue. And there's the parry stream. It looks like they may actually have Urza and be unable to cast him. Yep, that taps for red now, opponent. Oh my god, it looks like this Blood Moon is actually putting in work, stopping them from casting Urza. Alright, so we're not getting anywhere, but at least we're getting there fast. So we do have double blue, so we can cast every spell in our deck. Opponent knows we have Spell Pierce, so they must have more Teferis. Ooh, opponent's gonna fight over it. If it's Force of Negation, you can't do it on your own turn, opponent. Only on ours. We are 9 minutes on the clock ahead of our opponent, so it looks like there's a good chance that they're going to time out before they kill us. Alright, Jace there was an absolutely insane drop. We know they have Force of Negation though, right? Which means we want to cast Jace so that hopefully they exile an Urza or something. That actually sounds fine. Then they will have no way to win the game with another minute left on the clock. They exile the Thoughtcast. That's also fine. Polluted Delta is just a mountain, and let's pass the turn. It has a minute left on the clock. Passes it back to us. Ooh, we drew another island, so we have more basics. Opponent has spells in hand, that's for sure. They just cannot currently cast them with Blood Moon. Maybe Saheeli, I believe, is castable. Plains, not the basic the opponent was looking for. We're going to go ahead and get another one of these down. That way one Teferi doesn't free them up. Alright, that's a hard cast Thoughtcast. Bauble. Which player are you choosing? Alright, I'm in. So we're keeping them off Urza. That's the name of the game currently. Cool. So Time Warp will be an extra turn for us, which is pretty good. Replays their Forest. Cast an Overflowing Chalice. And Thoughtcast. Seems good. Time Warp targeting ourselves. You overtap by one, but it doesn't matter. We're immediately going to our next turn. This Bolt answers a few of their threats as well, which is kind of nice. Narset is great. Go ahead and grab something with Narset. Ancestral Vision. I'll get that in a few turns. Fast turn. Alright, so we don't want to auto yield because we do have this Bolt. Alright, size. Different. So, Bauble targeting me. Our turn. Get to Bauble. Then Ancestral goes down one. Go ahead and minus this Time Warp's a good one. Time Warp, target us. Mystic Sanctuary's fine. It'll just be a mountain. If we get another bolt, we can take this Psy right off the table, which would be great. Fires. Not amazing. I think I'm gonna sandbag this one for a turn. Let's go ahead and pass the turn. Alright, so opponent's going to attack Narset here, obviously. Good chance we should have left Narset at 3 since... Oh, the opponent went after us. Interesting. Our turn. Ancestral Vision. Cryptic Command. Alright, we're just going to pass to their turn. Okay. It's coming at Narset yet? Still coming at us? Okay. Alright, so we're gonna return target permanent and draw a card. We bounce the snow-covered island, try and turn off as many things as possible. So, right now is to go to cleanup and discard a card. We're gonna draw a couple cards off this Ancestral Vision. Double bolt. Yep, that is triple bolt. That is what we were looking for to answer this Psy, that's for sure. Alright, let's cast a higher loyalty Narset. You know what? Oh, we can't cast Fires of Invention. We've cast too many spells this turn. That's fine. It's during our upkeep. Oh my god. We have not even drawn a card yet for turn. I am getting way overzealous. Jace. Yep, we will Jace instead. That's fine. Jace 0. Put back double fires. Play a fetch land that's a mountain. Pass the turn. Alright, opponent has 16 seconds on clock to win the game. And I think we would have won this game even if it had come to that. So let's draw 3 cards, put 2 back. This one and this one. Fires of Invention. And then Time Warp. Targeting us. Alright, next turn. I got it's a miracle, yes. Love to cast Temporal Mastery. Yes. I will pay the miracle cost even though I could pay nothing with fires. I am aware I can pay nothing with fires. So let's go ahead and +2 on them. Yes, we don't want them to have that snow-covered island. It's what we played around them having all game. I'm going to go ahead and pass to my next turn. Pass that turn and pass to them. Alright, it's on them now. Alright, opponent's just going to auto-yield all their actions, trying to win the game, which means that we can just do the same. We have way more board. Alright, opponent. You can slam that F6 button as fast as you want. You're going to lose because you only have 1 second left on the clock. It's a good attempt, though. I give you that. So, good game. To the timeout. A little unfortunate that's the way that this game goes, but glad we got the 3-2 with blue-red turns. It seems this deck is pretty consistently a 3-2 deck. Thank you so much for tuning in. Alex with Lucksack Games reminding you to hit that like button, hit the subscribe button, ring the bell, and leave a comment down below for future content. Thank you so much, and have an awesome day.